the last 7 or 8 minutes of that game?
I don't think so, Doug. I thought, you could maybe think that or whatever, but I thought we were right there. I thought we answered a bunch of runs, and we were still there to like 198. Man, we had a couple great looks, and we had a couple bad offensive possessions before that point, but we still clawed it back, and we had a couple great looks there down the stretch. Had a couple good defensive possessions that didn't end up going our way, but we just those few plays there from about 2 minutes to 1 minute, right, back and forth that were probably the difference in the game. I didn't see, any fatigue or any of that kind of stuff that was like, it's a big problem or anything.
Nick, Dan Wicke with the Los Angeles Times. Before the game, you kind of described the defensive needs as essentially just having to be everywhere in the paint out. How do you think you guys handle that, and how, I guess, stressful and taxing is it to play against that team defensively when you do have to essentially be everywhere?
Well, it was okay. I thought our defense was pretty good, right? I thought we were executing our game plans really well. I didn't feel like we were under that much stress on there. The biggest thing is the transition, right? I mean, when you blow a layup or you get knocked down or something and the ball's still in play, they come at you in transition. Those were the only real tough offensive possessions we had. I thought, I got to look at it a little bit more too.
Nick, Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports. When you're preparing to face a team that's had a layoff like Milwaukee, do you see that as an opportunity to kind of come out and maybe take advantage of a group that hasn't really had that intensity for a couple days?
Well, I mean, I think the one thing that we all know about these playoff games is you better have the intensity or you're in trouble, right? And I thought we did a good job of bringing some effort and pace and physicality at the beginning, but I don't think it'd be any different if they were coming off back to back to back or hadn't played in 5 days. I think both teams are trying to come out there and play with some intensity and effort and force and all those and pace and all those things.
Nick Caperness, TSN. Kyle Lowry tonight, his best performance of the postseason, 7 of 9 from 3, saving Danny's pass. Can you talk about his performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he was really good, right? And it's not easy. We talked a little bit about pregame. They got a whole bunch of guys, kind of athletic guards, and they run a bunch of different guys at him, and they're doing a decent job of limiting his touches. So I thought it was good that he could get the ball as much as he did. He stepped into all of them, and it's been a while since he's had one of those nights where every time you pulled up, he thought he was going to make it. It was like every time he let it go tonight, you were like, that's going in, and that was good to see because we've seen those a lot, in the regular season and all that stuff. But he was great, man. He was fighting like heck out there. I thought he threw his body in front of people on a few things. Didn't get the whistle on a few. He always draws charges, and there was tons of charges going on out there. But he still was taking them. That's his thing, and he was good. He was awesome.
Tim Reynolds with the AP. Nick, I know you haven't seen tape yet, and kind of almost follow on Doug's question a little bit. Everybody but Kyle was 0 for 15 in the fourth. Just without studying film, did you like the looks you were getting for the most part? I know things got a little bit hairy there in the last minute.
I think when we did get shots, they were pretty good. I think we got hemmed up a couple times, and turned it over, and that's like the recipe for a bucket the other direction, right? So I think for the most part we did. I'm just trying to think. Kawhi had an ISO that ended up in a turnover. Danny had one there. I'm just trying to think of a really tough one. Maybe Kawhi had a fall away with a couple guys on him, but I can't think of any right now without watching the tape. Pretty happy. I think even Mark had a clean look at a 3. Danny with down 4 right away there with about 1:20 to go. We kick it out. Clean look. We got the rebound, and Kyle took a pretty deep one. Mark had a couple 8 to 10 footers that were there. So that's the best I can do with my memory right there.
Brandon Hurley with the Carroll Times-Herald. Nick, you talk a lot about intensity and focus. With you guys being so close to stealing a game 1 here in Milwaukee, what do you do to get your guys refocused for Friday night and try to get a win there?
Yeah, I think Brandon, that you don't really have much choice, right? Like it's just we're learning that each one of these games is critical. I thought we played a tough tonight, a tough brand of basketball for the most part. We gave ourselves a chance to win on the road in a Eastern Conference final, and it didn't turn out. But we put in a lot of work. But you got to file that one away, right? And put in more work next time. That's really where it starts. We gotta get some rest here tonight. Focus in on our film, figure out some adjustments, build some confidence, right? And but then again, once it gets ready to go up for game 2, we got to be tough.
Nick, Reed Forgrave with CBSSports.com. Psychologically for your team, especially with a game 1, would you rather have a game where you play clearly well enough to win and then lose in the final couple minutes, or would you rather lose by 13?
No, neither one of those. Neither one of those feels good, man. It's a good question though, because it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If it's a buzzer beater and you lose, or if it's a 30-point blowout and you lose, that game's over. And we saw that in that last series, right? We went and blow them out in the first game, and it was, look, it was going to be a cruise, but we know better than that. These teams are too good. Both teams are good, and it's good chance. I thought the Philly series was going to be a long one, and I'm good chance this one will be too.
Nick, Michael Grange from Sportsnet. How would you compare the way the ball moved and maybe some of the distribution in the first half versus the second half or down the stretch?
Well, not terribly bad, Michael. I didn't like the start to the second half, right? We did all that work in the first half to kind of control that thing, and it really seemed like we had them reeling defensively, right? We were just getting, the only bad shots we were taking were because of ourselves, right? If we looked and touched the paint and sprayed it around and made another play and went into another action, and we were finding some good stuff. I thought like 3 of the first 4 possessions we took it hard down the paint, got rocked big time physically, and they went down and laid it in. They got 4 layups to start the first half, and those were off 3 turnovers for sure. It might have been 4. So, if we're going to take it in there, and there's going to be some hitting and slapping and stuff, we got to play through it and make sure we don't turn it over. Because again, turnovers against this team are trouble. All right, thank you.